Hello everybody, it's Kate, the West Coast Papercrafter. It is Monday evening, August 11th, 7 p.m. Pacific time, if you're catching this live on my Facebook page, but perhaps you're catching me on replay on YouTube or on Facebook, and then I don't know what time it is for you, but I'm happy you're here. Either way, live or replay. So, tonight, another scrap busting card template that I'm going to show you. You can use this with any stamp set, any set of pattern paper. It's just super versatile. So let's get started. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kate. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on Vancouver Island in Canada, part-time paper crafter because I do have a full-time job and I do this on the side for fun and mostly stress relief, actually, to be honest. And it works perfectly for me, for a stress reliever. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Hello, Kathy. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so if you're catching this on a replay, especially on YouTube, you might wonder who I'm talking to when I mention somebody by name or seem to be having conversations. Trust me, I am not talking to myself. Facebook Live, there's lots of comments and chats happening in the comments. And if you're wondering why I'm so weird talking to myself, I'm not. I promise. Hey, Jackie, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so tonight, I am using the Everyday You and Me bundle. So I have already gone ahead, pre-stamped and cut out some flowers, leaves. Yeah, flowers and leaves from this bundle in Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon, and my good friend, the Canadian Stamper, Tanya, the Canadian Stamper, she did give me a wild wheat to use because I didn't have this in my collection and it's a retired color and I had some FOMO. So I'm telling you, it's always good to have a crafty friend. You can give them a ring, send them a text, and chances are they're going to help you out. At least Tanya always helps me out. So thank you, Tanya. If you haven't checked out her page, it's the Canadian Stamper. She goes live on Saturdays. I like her. She's good people. Marion, hello. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you were sick. All right. I know, Kathy, I was not going to buy this. And then I did. And then it went into the last chance list, and I could have got it cheaper if I just waited a week. Anyway, I need to order more paper because I'm obsessed with it and I've been using it, and now I am running low. I'm also going to be using the Just to Brighten Your Day sentiment from the Sharing Loving Crafting stamp set from Stampin' Up! This one, I've kind of missed it. It's in the catalog. It's kind of more for, I guess, demonstrators who sell their cards because it's got these little trademark stamps that you're supposed to stamp on your cards if you sell them. So I ignore it because I don't sell my cards. But then I realized there's some really lovely sentiments. So of course, add to cart. I'm going to use it tonight. Hello, Kathy. Thanks for tuning in. All right, Kathy. There's two Kathys. So Kathy Lafayette, he took my advice and he bought more paper. I'm adding more paper to my cart today. I'm adding more paper today because I'm using it. I'm burning through it. So let's go through all of the pieces. There's a lot. But this card does not take a long time to put together. So of course we've got our A2 card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4.25 on the 8.5-inch side. I've got two layers. One is Lost Lagoon, one's basic white. The white's for the inside of the card. They are both 4 inches by 5.25. Kate, hello. Kathy Kessler, you love the DSP too. I know. It's just, there's something about it. I would just love it. Okay, another piece of basic white that is slightly smaller. This is important because this is for our front piece, so you don't want to mix this up with the inside layer that's 4 by 5.25. You want to make sure for the front layer of the card, you're using the white that's 3.75 by 5. That's important. So I'm going to actually tuck my inside layer into my card base so I don't forget. I just went ahead and cut out a little soft cornered, round cornered rectangle from the Nested Essential dies for my sentiment. If you are using the same supplies as me, this is 2.5 by 1.75. So if you want to use the same size for your sentiment and you don't have the Nested Dies Essentials. Cut your paper to 2.5 by 1 3/4. All right, now for a gazillion strips of paper. So out of the Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper pack, I have cut 4 strips of paper that are all 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/4. From the same paper pack, I've cut 4 more strips that are 1.5, not 1.5, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. 1/2 inch by 5 3/4, and then 4 strips of pretty Peacock cardstock that are 1/4 inch by 5 3/4. All right, so get your Lost Lagoon layer out of the way. You don't need it yet. What you do need is your basic white that's 3 3/4 by 5. Hello, Tanya from Central Illinois. Thanks for tuning in. Now, you need to apply adhesive to this entire sheet of cardstock. So I highly recommend a tape runner for this. You can use your Tombow or your wet glue, no problem. It's just a little bit messy. Hello, Phyllis from Tennessee. Becky, your first time joining the live stream. I'm really happy you made it. All right, so actually, it really doesn't matter. My paper's dirty, but it doesn't matter because I'm covering this entire thing with our strips. So maybe you've seen this before. I've seen this on occasion and I've never done it because it seemed too finicky, but turns out it's not. So I'm just going to take my tape runner and I am going to apply strips. I'm sorry, it's loud. I'm sorry. I like the little clicky sound it makes, but I'm sure it's driving some of you crazy. Anyway, I am going to add adhesive to this entire sheet, and I'm paying extra attention to the sides and the corners because I don't want anything to come off. So I thought that this particular Tombow Dots adhesive didn't come off unless there was paper, but I'm wrong. It does come off, and now I've got sticky little dots here. So if you have a glass mat, get yourself some rubbing alcohol. This one's 70%, but I also use 99%, which is better for techniques, but 70% is fine too when it comes to cleaning off your glass mat. So I wasn't planning to show you that, but I couldn't keep working on my surface with all my sticky little glue dots that got left behind. So I actually write on my glass mat with a black permanent marker, a Sharpie, and it comes off really easily with rubbing alcohol. Now, if I leave that black marker on for 24 hours or longer, then it still comes off, but sometimes I need to scrub a little bit harder. Kate, you're using an adhesive sheet for this. Well, that's really smart. That's very clever. Okay, where did I put? Oh, here it is. All right, so now what we're going to do is layer our strips of paper diagonally across our basic white. So some of you might wonder why I cut these so long to 5 3/4, and that's because I want to put them on the diagonal and I don't want to run out of paper, right? So I need it long enough. So we're just going to start it in the top corner. I'm going to leave just a little space there for one of my smaller pieces. And then just layer them and alternate them in between the different sizes. So I started with the 1/2 inch, followed by the 3/4 inch, followed by the 1/4 inch, and then I'm just going to repeat this whole pattern until all my paper is covered. And it's pretty simple to butt up these edges so you're flush with each piece of paper that you're using. Very handy. So yeah, I've seen people do this. I've never done it. I thought it was going to take me forever. So this is a true story. This is the first time I've ever made this type of a card design using strips of paper like this. So let me know in the comments if this is like old news for you and you've been doing this for a long time. I'm always late to the party. Always. All right, so I think I've cut myself enough strips, hopefully. I did. I had to think about what comes next. All right. This one. And then my 3/4 inch, which is followed by this one. And I have the tiniest little square or little corner that didn't get covered up. I'm going to show you how easy it is to deal with that. Because, like I said, it was really important to get adhesive on the edges and the tips. So after my pretty peacock, I've got my 1/2 inch strip. I'm just stealing a little piece of it. And I'm going to stick it on that tiny, you can see that it's so tiny little corner, tiniest little corner. And actually I'm just going to add a little more adhesive so I know it's going to stick. Uh-oh, where did I, oh, there it is. I thought I lost my tiny little corner. So you might have to rob a tiny little piece of your overhang to catch your corners. But it's easy to do. Hey, Christine, thanks for tuning in. Hello, Anne from Western Australia. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so now we've got this big mess, big mess. Flip it over, grab your paper snips, and trim off all that excess paper. And I'm just following along the lines of my basic white layer. And I mean, if you cut in a little bit too much, it's not the end of the world. It's probably not going to be noticeable unless you really cut into it, then I don't know. All right, so I'm making quite the mess. It's strangely satisfying to trim off all this excess. And I'm also really loving my tape runner because it's so much less messy than liquid glue. Liquid glue would be, you can do it for sure, but it would be, you'd probably have some leaks. All right, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, cleaning up my mess. Hang on. Okay, now let's take this layer and mat it to our Lost Lagoon layer using whatever glue you want to use. Hey, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. I think the cards are pretty too. It's not me though. It's really the pattern paper that's making these cards. But thank you for your kind comments. Thank you, Tanya. So speaking of kind comments, I was scrolling around on Facebook today and there's a demonstrator that I like to watch who's in Australia. And she had done a live, and I don't know how I even seen this comment, but it just popped up, where somebody commented on her live that she takes too long to demonstrate her card. And I didn't take it as a very kind comment, and the demonstrator just basically told her, hey, don't watch me, right? If you don't like it, don't watch me. Hey, Leanne, thanks. You're very late for this important date. So I got to thinking about that, and you know, sometimes, not very often, but sometimes I'll get a comment and I'm not too I think it's meant to be a little unkind, right? But I'm not exactly too sure because you can't really tell by somebody's tone. So I feel like I've slightly miscut my Lost Lagoon layer. It just seems to be slightly off. Either that or I miscut my white layer, but I'm going for it. Anyway, so my point was I never really know if somebody's being intentionally being mean or not, because I don't know what the tone is. But what I do know is that I just think kindness is always the way to go, right? If I watch somebody and I don't like how they do something, or I think they talk too much, that's me, guilty as charged. I don't say anything. if I don't have anything nice to say, why would I say anything? So I guess I was reminded today, seeing this comment, was, kindness isn't hard. Just be kind, right? Just be kind. All right, I'm missing some comments. Janice, yes, it is a large bottle of Tombow. It is. All right, so my measurements are off. I can tell because my borders are wonky, but it still looks pretty, so I'm over it. This large bottle of Tombow jumped into my cart at Michael's. I was completely out of glue after the scrapbooking workshop. And I went into Michael's and I'm like, what is this extra large Tombow doing? Get in my cart. Get in my cart. So that's what happened there. And I love it. It's ginormous. All right. So now we've got our card front. We can do anything we want. So what I'm going to do is stamp a sentiment just to brighten your day. I've been making lots of sympathy cards because I promised my mother that I would make her some, but I'm so over it. So over it. All right, Lisa, thank you. I do try to be nice, right? I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard, people. And for demonstrators too, I mean, the chances of a demonstrator doing this as her full-time job, I just think that that's few and far between. Most people that are in direct sales or doing things like this, they still have full-time jobs. This is for fun or maybe a little bit of extra income. I'm not too sure. I do this for fun. Actually, I'll tell you my story in a minute. But I do it for fun. I don't do it to make money. It is not my job. It is just not my job. It's my happy place. That's what it is. All right, just to brighten your day. That's cheery. I went ahead and I pre-tied a bow with the, what is this called? Gold striped mesh ribbon. Gold striped mesh ribbon. It's a mouthful. Yes, Catherine, kindness is king. Exactly. Jack, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Anyway, I see most of you agree with me, if not all of you, is that kindness is just so important, right? Anyway, I'll never respond meanly, no matter how I think someone intends to leave me a comment. If I think it's mean or not, I'm never going to be mean to you back, all right? It's never happening. It's just not me. It's not my style. All right, so I'm going to pop up my sentiment piece. Then I'm going to add about 100 flowers. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. Shelly, I get sticky with Tombow, like ridiculously sticky. I can't help it. And yes, I add a lot of dimensionals, right? It's crazy. Okay, so I was going to tell you my little origin story. So a few years back, Tanya, the Canadian stamper, she used to work in the same office as me, but she broke up with me and she took another job somewhere else. Can you believe it? Anyway, no, it's good for her. She got a really good job. Anyway, I digress. So she is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator way before I was ever a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and she was hosting some Christmas fun, right? So card making, Christmas movie, trivia, bingo, I can't remember everything, but it was a week-long thing. Anyway, somebody asked me to go to the card making. I told them that's crazy. I don't have time to make cards. I honestly said that. Who's got time to make cards? Anyway, my coworker convinced me, just go, right? Let's just go. We'll have a fun time. So I did. And then I ended up in January signing up when they had a really good joining special because I wanted to craft for cheap. I wanted to get my supplies at a discount. I'd never made cards before. And so Tanya opened my eyes to that. So I joined under Tanya. That's why I talk about her so much. She makes me happy. She's my buddy. Anyway, so I joined under her. I wanted the discount. I secretly wanted to stalk her and be better friends. Tanya, if you're watching this, true story. I just didn't want to tell you. I didn't want you to know how weird I was. Am. Anyway, so I ended up crafting only for a discount and decided, maybe it'd be kind of fun to host some craft classes in my little community. It's a rural community and it's not very big. I thought that would be kind of fun. I could bring some craft classes, some card making to the community, not about making money because I have a really good job. I don't need to make money. But I thought it'd be kind of nice if I paid for my craft supplies too. And then that happened. I brought some craft classes to my little rural community and whoops, after a little while, some consistency and then going online, I do get most of my supplies covered. Most. I mean, not all, because I have a very heavy add to cart addiction. So long story short, if anybody cares, my Stampin' Up! Journey has never been about making money or leaving my full-time job, but it has been about fun and crafting and stress relief, and I really, really enjoy it. And sometimes, some months, I get most of my supplies paid for. So seriously, I can't beat that, right? All right, so I've just added some flowers. I went ahead and I pre-stamped and die cut these out about 5 minutes before this live started, to be honest. And what else do I want to do? Maybe a little more leaf action, hey? Maybe just a little more leaf action somewhere. Yes, right there. Anyway, so that's my Stampin' Up! Story. It is true. Like, I really wasn't interested in making cards 3 years ago. I thought that was ridiculous. Who has time for that? And then, like, no joke, I don't even know how much money I don't even want to know how much money I've spent on craft supplies. Far too much. Far too much. No, Lynn, I can't complain. Oh, Kathy, you're so sweet. T. Noel. It is fantastic. It is a darn cute card, right? So I'm going to put a ribbon down here, but I'm going to glue that on last because I'm going to want to weight that down. So before I do that, and I'm going to add some loose gold sequins because that's just one more thing that I've been addicted to lately. Loose gold sequins. Let's stamp a flower and a leaf in the corner of this. I just need to roll my chair back and get my stamps because I wasn't planning on doing any stamping, but hang on. Where are they? Oh, there they are. I had to toss them into a basket and put them on my bed because I've been videotaping today and it's like ridiculously hot today. Carissa, when you catch this on a replay, I know you had a heat warning where you're from, all the way on the eastern part of Canada. The last time I went live, which was yesterday. Well, yesterday. Anyway, we're in a heat warning today, and it's not pleasant. It is hot. Hot. Oh, thanks, Tino. You're really cute. Really sweet. Thank you. Leanne, you've been in less than a year, and your total is blaring you when you sign on. I know it's a slippery slope. So I'm going to use this wild wheat. Again, this is a retired color. Not many people love this color. I think it's a color that's really got to grow on you because it's almost an aggressive yellow, right? It's just so out there. But, and I didn't buy these in colors that came with the wild wheat, but my buddy Tanya did, and she was more than happy to let me use her wild wheat so I could do all my color coordinating with this paper pack. It's always good to have crafty friends. That's the moral of the story. Get yourself a crafty friend, and then you can call them up and you can share your craft supplies when you're in a pinch, right? Oh, Leanne, you got a heat warning too? Yeah, it's cooking. Janet, that is really sweet. Thank you. Very sweet. All right. So, oh, you know what? I don't love that. I don't love it. My leaves and the wild wheat I don't love, but these are dark. The wild wheat's a dark color, so I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm going to glue it down whether I like it or not. And next time I look at it, when it's all dry, I might like it a bit better because sometimes those dry colors, they just dry a little different and they look better once they're all dry. Right, so this is going to go in the inside. I got to make sure I'm putting it the right way. All right. I don't like naked cards. That's why I either like a sentiment or some designer series paper or some sort of stamping in the cards. Tina, why do you think she got you into it to share your supplies? Yeah, yeah. Well, truth be told, Tanya shares more of her supplies with me than I do with her. She's so organized, and I am not. I really like that about her. It's always good to have an organized friend if you are definitely not. Uh, Seda, I hope I'm saying that right. Seda suggests glue dots for bows for sure. But my glue dots, I swear to you, are defective. And they dry up in about 2 to 3 days, and whatever I've glued with them falls off. So some of you have heard me talk about this. So what I typically tend to do is use my Tombow for all things except gluing down these strips of paper. So I've added 3 little dots of Tombow on my sentiment piece and then one underneath. That's for the bow. I'm going to snag myself 3 sequins. Just 3. I know I've been a little bit wild and crazy with sequins lately, but this is just going to be 3 today. Anyway, on Sunday, I met up with my good friend, the Canadian stamper, to pilfer her craft collection, but we also went and got pedicures, and we had lunch. And I haven't seen her in a while because she was off gallivanting Ireland for 3 weeks. I know, it's so rude of her to leave me for 3 weeks, but she did. Anyway, she had a lovely time. She had a very lovely time. And then I just realized today, I haven't reached out to her yet, but I'm going to do that after this live, that I think for the whole time when we were getting our pedicures and having lunch, I don't think I even asked her about the trip, except for the fact that she got a sunburn even though it was sweater weather. So yeah, I was just too excited to see her. Kate, Leanne, I do need glue dot boot camp. Thank you, Lynn. I really like this card too. Janice suggests I try a new roll of glue dots. Yeah, you're right. I know. I should. I will, I think. I mean, I got a long list of things to buy. All right, so you know what? Before I glue this on, I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek. I need to weight down my bow because I'm using Tombow to glue it. So here's the outside of our card minus the bow. Here's the inside. I'm going to add a little bit more glue. I'm going to get something heavy. And then I'm going to weight this bow down. I'm going to leave it for, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 minutes. Who knows? And once that dries, the only way that bow is coming off is if I intentionally pull it off. So that's why I like to do that. Catherine, hello. Yes, catch the replay. You'll like it. All right, it's hot in here. Now, before I flip the camera around, oh, my light's dying. This is the sample card I made last night with different papers, different colors, another sympathy card for my mother. Anyway, I meant to do another version of this design just to show you how like seriously versatile it is to use your strips. But I was videotaping for my 3D projects class today in this heat, in this craft room. That's why I'm looking all sweaty. But I've got 2 out of the 3 videos recorded. I'm super happy with them. And the PDFs are ready. I'm going to show you the 3D projects. Now, if you are in Canada and you are my customer in the month of August, no matter what you buy, it could be a bottle of glue or it could be your entire wish list. It doesn't matter. But what am I trying to say? If you're my customer, there's no spending limit. You are going to receive my 3D projects. I gave it a really cute name. I can't remember what it is now, like giftable paper projects or something like that. I'll remember. after the live is done. But anyway, so if you're my customer, then you're just automatically getting access to the private videos and the PDFs to make these 3 giftable paper projects. So I'm going to show you what they are. So this one is a paper purse. It's pretty big, right? You can add a lot of goodies in this. And of course I use the Everyday Happiness Designer Series paper for my projects because, hello, I'm obsessed with it. I'll be using it all of August probably. So paper purse, and a little mini sandwich box, and that's got a window sheet in it, so it's got a little peekaboo window where you can stuff your candy. And then this one, it's not fully decorated yet, and I think I've shown this before, but this is a little folio. Oops, I got it upside down, for gifting. So it is meant to be a gift, so you can send somebody a little package of handmade cards. So it's a little gift box almost, but in a folio. So depending on how thick your cards are, you could get 3 in each side, but definitely 2 in each side. So my cards are usually popped up. I think I'll get 4 in this folio. And you guessed it, my mom's getting her pack of sympathy cards in one of these pretty little folios. Because why wouldn't I, right? She's my mother. All right, so thanks so much for tuning in. Now, for those of you who do not live in Canada, or you're a demonstrator and you are not going to spend any money in anybody else's store, I got it. I get you. I understand this. So this online 3D projects class will be available at some point for anybody to just purchase as a standalone online class, but it's not coming in August. So for August, it's my shopping special for anyone who shops with me, and it's also my gift to my team members, the Rain or Shine Papercrafters. But I'm not leaving anybody else out. You're just going to, if you want it and you have FOMO, then sometime in September, I'm just going to roll it out for purchase only. Anyway, I'm missing a super amount of comments. It's so hot I can barely even talk. Anyway, I am on vacation. I am loving not working this week. It's great. I don't know what we're doing, so things are a little bit up in the air about when I'm going live next. I don't know. So I promised my husband I'm going to be flexible to his schedule. Yuck. No, just kidding. But I'm flexible to his schedule and whatever we might want to do. We always fly by the seat of our pants and we never book anything in advance, which is why I do not know where I'm going to be. But what I will do is I will keep you posted when I'm going live next. But I will tell you it will not be Sunday morning at 9:30, because if you caught my live yesterday, the sun was coming in my window at just the right angle that the lighting was terrible and there was nothing I could do. I need curtains. That's the moral of that story. So thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. Stay tuned on my Facebook page for the next live, which will be coming up sometime, just probably not Thursday. If you're catching this on a replay, either on Facebook or YouTube, say hello, tell me where you're from. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, then I'm going to post a photo in my Facebook feed. If you've crafted along, I would love to see what you make. And then probably tomorrow, for those of you who like my bite-sized tutorials, I'm going to make a reel that's about 30 seconds that zips through making this card design. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go back in the comments and read everything and comment for those of you who I missed. Have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.